and welcome back to another great broadcast of TNN Tiger News Network. I'm Coach Talber. Today we have some very important information that you guys need to listen to. So make sure on this episode you listen very closely to all of the information that's going to be coming your way. I'm going to go over to the Media Center and I'm going to talk with Miss Knight. I'm also going to talk with Mr. Chamness and Miss Miller. Also, Coach Jill's on the show today to talk to you about spirit things that's going to be happening every Friday. So pay close attention. All right, we got Miss Knight here from the Media Center. And Miss Knight, I saw an email about an orientation,
Yes.
Media Center orientation. I think this is the first you have heard of that, so could you please explain to me what that is?
So basically, what we're going to do is have you come in and you'll learn about the basic policies and procedures for checking in, checking out books, and you'll learn what you'll do as far as coming in as a class and things of that nature.
Okay, so is that you got a whole new system, obviously.
Whole new system.
From this is the first year that I think last year the kids didn't get to use
We
a
didn't
lot
get
of
to do
media center.
that. They did the year before, but this is with our new media center that has been revamped. So we wanted to make sure that we had those policies and procedures in check for when they started using and circulating.
Is there anything like that's going to, what's the hardest thing that they're going to probably have to know how to do?
Just making sure that when you come in, that you go directly into the check-in station and scan your book and then put it into the checked-in book slot. Because if you don't, then that puts them back out in circulation and it leaves a book hanging under your name. And I don't want you to owe fines, so that would be the most important thing.
That's right. What's one of the biggest incentives that you have this year?
I'd say our Reading Rainbow. So that's the very end of the year. This year we'll be utilizing punch cards for our accelerated reader program because our focus this year is going to be more on comprehension. So we want for teachers and students alike to utilize those punch cards. Every time a student gets a 100%, they get a punch. If they fill up 3 or more, they get to come to the Reading Rainbow. So that's a big surprise at the end of the year. If you remember, we did Harry Potter.
That's
You were
right.
Hagrid.
Yeah, that's right. That was
but
fun.
this year we're going to be doing our Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, okay.
So that's my
I
theme
may
for
have
this
to.
year.
Do I have to dress up this year?
We'll
too?
include you somehow.
Oh, appreciate it. I'm always included somehow. All right, Miss Knight, I appreciate it. Thanks
Thank
for all
you
that you
so
do,
much.
and good deal. Library.
Media
I'm
Center.
sorry. Media Center. The Media Center looks wonderful.
Thank you. It's
And,
getting there.
Yeah, it's getting. All right. Good afternoon, DS. We're back. We got Mr. Chamness here. Just gonna talk a little bit about some things that we got going on here at Davil Elementary School. One being, I think you guys have a new, I guess it's a fund or a new fundraiser for the elementary school. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, Coach. So one of the things that we're looking at, or one of the things we were doing, and a note went home with the students on the first day of school, is called a Golden Leaders Club. And we've had this in place for quite some time, but if you're new to our school or new to this program, the PTO is actually helping us to sell this idea and to make it happen. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to have, as you walk into our school, a mural. And on this mural, if you become part of our Golden Leaders Club, we'll put your student's name or your family name as a part of this based on this amount. So what happens is you would take this form and you would give us a check, that's a voided check, and we would auto draft a certain amount. So we've got several different levels. Those levels are platinum at $25 a month, gold at $20, 15 is silver, and then 10 is bronze. So that works out to $300, $240, $180, and $120 a year.
Okay.
Now what this does is it goes directly to our students in the programs to buy instructional materials, supplies, things that our school needs on a daily basis. And so this helps our students achieve as we go through the year.
That's right. And I know sometimes copy paper or things like that, it gets expensive.
Exactly.
And I know the general fund, a lot of times it's funded through the general fund. So all of this is going, will this money be going back into the general fund to purchase those supplies?
Yes, sir, absolutely. That's exactly where the money will go. And like I said, it will go directly to our students through our teachers. So if it's school supplies, we usually keep school supplies on hand if somebody runs out. Papers are usually a big one. If we have specialty things going on to help our school or to promote things at our school, those are the type of things that will be done. We're going to work on some new initiatives and new types of things that this will help us fund too. So it's a neat idea to get us started. But we also want our community to know that as you walk into our school, this is a chance for everyone else coming in to meet the teacher or an event we have here at school to see your children or your family's name, and everyone will then know how much Dadeville Elementary means to you and your family. So it's really
And what's the name of this again?
It's the Golden Leaders Club. So again,
Golden.
your students should have had a packet when they came home day one. And if you'd like more information about that, please feel free to contact the school, and you can speak to Miss Miller, myself, or any of our PTO members.
I appreciate you. I appreciate that, Ms. Chambers, and all that information. And like today's TNN episode, it's an informative episode. So we got you and Miss Knights on, and so this is gonna be a fun, informative episode of TNN. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, I have Miss Miller here. I told you guys that today was going to be an informative TNN, and that's exactly what it is, Miss Miller. I've had Miss Chamness, Miss Knight from the Media Center on talking about a little bit about orientation, and now I have you. You're gonna fill us in on a couple of things: lunch, forms, and talk a little bit about car riders. So,
Absolutely.
What about the lunch forms?
Well, first of all, the most important thing is that you fill the lunch forms out. It doesn't matter if you want your child to receive free or reduced lunch. Everyone is receiving free lunch this year. So just fill the forms out and get those turned in. It does not matter what your family's income is. Just fill those forms out. You can find that form in the back of the county code of conduct book that was sent home with your child, or you can fill it out online at familytitankk12.com. So you can do the online version of the form or the hard copy of the form, but the important thing is to just fill the form out. Thank you.
And kids, if you have not taken that code of conduct book home,
Wow, you better get that sent home.
yeah,
Absolutely.
make
yes.
sure you get that book taken home. Parents, if you have not received that book, please ask them or call here to the school, and we'll make sure that we can get you one, I'm sure.
Absolutely. The code of conduct booklet and the student handbook. So two big booklets that should have come home with your child by now.
All right. Now, you mentioned car riders.
Yes.
And I know there's been a change in a little bit with car riders as far as pre-K, because now they're actually in that car rider line. But what's the new change?
And Friday, we were not at full capacity with kindergarten, and we're not today either. But on Thursday, we will definitely be at full capacity with our car rider line. Pre-K students will be picked up in our regular car rider line starting at 2:15. And so those pre-K parents will be allowed to come to the front of the car rider line to pick their pre-K babies up at 2:15. Once the pre-K parents exit, that's when the K-6 car rider parents will then move to the front of the line to pick up their car riders. All car riders will be called for dismissal at 2:40 to the gym, and so we will start loading car riders in grades K-6 at 2:45. That's when the first group will be called to load, is at 2:45. So just make sure you're following the signs that are posted out there where K-6 car riders line up out at the car rider area, and just pay attention.
Ms. Miller, it's always a pleasure to have you on TNN. I guess Friday it went pretty smooth.
It was very smooth for the first day back. Thank you, parents. Thank you, students. Thank you, teachers. It was a wonderful first day of the 21-22 school year.
Got Coach Gia here with me. She's going to be talking to us about some pennants that she's going to be selling on Fridays.
Yes, so on Fridays, we're going to be selling pennants, or as some call spirit ribbons. They're $1. All the money goes to the Ethan Club, which is a club of women in the Dadeville community that give back to schools and all the groups and organizations in the community that have anything to do with our youth. We give scholarships, and so the spirit ribbons are not only a way for us to give back, but also to bring back a tradition from when me and you were in school.
Yeah.
And we had the pennants every
Do
Friday.
you still have
I
your
still
pennants?
have my pennants.
You have
right
all
now
your pennants?
in my scrapbook.
Really?
Yes.
Don't forget, bring $1
Yes.
on Fridays, and you can buy yourself a pennant. And And we'll have some out. Chili's is gonna be selling any?
No,
or
it'll
just-
be, me and, Miss Regina in the high school will
Okay.
have some,
All
yeah.
right. So if you want to pin it at the elementary school, make sure you see Coach Jill.
Yep.
Coach Jill, thanks a lot for coming on.
No problem.
This has been TNN, Tiger News Network. And as we always say, Tigers travel to the top. Thank you, Coach Jill, Miss Miller, Miss Chamness, also Miss Knight for that information. I told you guys it's going to be very, very informative episode of TNN today. So hopefully you guys paid close attention to everything that they were talking about. Now, that brings us to the end of another great episode of TNN Tiger News Network. And as we always say, Tigers travel to the top.